Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Carpo here, back again with another Anthem video. Yes, this is a video in a series where we compile all of the questions composed to Mark Darrah and Jonathan Warner in the interwebs. You know, we're going to gather up all those questions. We're going to answer them right here in this video over the past 1 to 2 weeks. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now our first question comes from Mohammed, and he asks Mark Darrah, can we change the flight animation or is it a specific animation for each javelin? Mark Darrah replies, it is specific to the javelin, but it is something we are going to look into after launch. Now if anybody have played Warframe, there is an animation that you can actually change. You know, depending on which Warframe, they come with different stances, but you can also change them to whichever one that you like. I hope it's something similar to that. If that's the case, that's pretty awesome. So when you're sitting idle or if you're hovering, would be, you know, you'll be able to change the animation if you didn't like which one you're using. Question 2 comes from Zeb Feather. He asks Mark Darrah, will there be a maximum flight altitude? And Mark Darrah replies, yes, there is a flight ceiling. So you won't be able to just fly all the way up out of combat, and you know, there will be a respectable amount of space where you can fly around, I'm sure, but there will be a flight ceiling. Next up, we have Logan Giddings asking Mark Darrah, is it possible to extend the flight time without overheating through progression, i.e. a javelin upgrade or a pilot progression? And Mark Darrah replied, yes, there is a freelancing skill that will do just that. So there we have it, we will have some more upgradable customization to our javelin that will be able to extend our flight time pretty nice. Next up, we have a question about emotes. Higo asks Mark Darrah, what about the emotes? And Mark Darrah replied, yes, there are emotes. So there you have it. Whether or not will they be cool, that's up to us to decide. But there will be emotes in Anthem, which is nice. Pretty cool to see how a javelin is going to get down with the emotes. You know what I mean? Next up, we have a question from Leviathan, and he asks Mark Darrah, will we be able to unlock different colors as the game progresses, or will we be only able to purchase new color schemes? Mark Darrah replied, you can unlock personalization options by playing. Personalization options, which means there will be a plethora, that's right, a plethora of options that we will unlock just by playing. Now that is pretty cool if you ask me. Next up, Michael asks Jonathan Warner, will the game be challenging if we have top tier items and weapons on the highest difficulty, or will it be a walk in the park? And Jonathan replies, Michael, just crank up the difficulty setting. This is why we made them. So there you have it. There will be different difficulty settings in the game, which is a breath of fresh air. But yo, it gets even deeper when it comes to game difficulty settings as well. Now Jason asks a great question to Mark Darrah. He says, will the difficulty setting be like Diablo 3? Once you reach the hardest difficulty, it escalates in tiers. For example, easy, normal, hard, expert, expert 2, expert 3, and so on. Cool system from where new gear is added to the game. And Mark Darrah simply replies, yes. So there you have it. Difficulty setting will be something similar to Diablo 3, which is actually really good. If you didn't play Diablo 3, once you change the difficulty setting, depending on what it is, you will get different tier rewards based on your difficulty setting. So this is great news. Give us more reason to replay missions on a harder difficulty setting for higher tier rewards. Pretty awesome. Next up, we have Atomic CD asking Jonathan Warner a great question. Are we able to turn off the HUD damage element pop-up, text damage number, immersion breakdown numbers? And if so, will the visual and auto indicators for the critical hits will be so that they are colored combat text? And Jonathan Warner replies, yep, you can turn those off or adjust them. You'll just have to watch how the enemy hit reacts to see how you're doing if you turn them off. So there you have it. If you do decide to turn off those text damage numbers, there will be indicators on the boss to let you know how much damage you do. I would guess it's something similar to Monster Hunter World. That is pretty cool if you decide to go that route. Next up, Ashley Bates asks Mark Darrah, is the game set up for tank damage support roles? If so, is the Colossus the only tank, or can other javelins be equipped for a tank role? Can each javelin fulfill multiple roles? And Mark Darrah replies, the Colossus has some explicit aggro control available, but anyone can tank in theory. So there you have it. It does not matter what javelin you use. If you want to be a storm and you want to tank, you can tank. If you want to support with your storm, be a support. If you want to be a Colossus and support, you can pretty much do that too. It all depends on how you set your javelin leveling up and your perk tree. Next up, Bruno asks Mark Dara, as far as your level is concerned, can I be level 50 with the Ranger, then a lower level with less skills with the Storm? When I gain a new level, will I be able to unlock skills with all of them? And Mark Dara replies, you have a Freelancer level. Your Freelancer has a skill tree shared between all Javelins, and Javelins have gear. Gear drops at your current Freelancer level. So there you have it. Freelancer level, that is what we'll be able to upgrade. The upgrade tree, pretty good. Next up, Justin asks Mark Dara, as far as the higher gear tier is concerned, Ancient and Legendary, will be a need to be a certain level to equip them? Mark Dara replies, yes, I think so. So depending on your level, you'll be able to equip, higher tier type gear, which pretty much makes sense to me, and that makes sense. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have a Rachel asking Mark Dara, will there be a more populated area, non-combat area to explore with NPCs to talk to, like in the Citadel and Mass Effect? Mark Dara replied, Fort Tarsus is pretty big, pretty much implying, yes, there will be an area to talk to NPCs to and pretty much get lore and stuff like that in Fort Tarsus. And next up, Shadowbox asks Mark Dara, when we will be able to get random loot based on our Javelin. And Mark Dara replied, it will be based on your Javelin currently, but there will be other things to drop as well. So if you roll around with your Colossus, you will see a Storm gear drop. That is very possible. There will be randomized gear that drop, but will be focuses more towards you. Now the Peanut Gallery asks Mark Dara, will there be daily things to do? And Mark Dara replies, yes, there will be daily. So there we have it. This is confirmed. There will be daily things to do. Will there be missions? Will there be certain tasks to do? He didn't reply to all of that, but there will be dailies. Next up, Andre asks Mark Dara, he saw the EA sites as far as the Ranger, what type of weapons can he use? And Mark Dara replied, the Ranger can pretty much use everything except for those miniguns. And as far as everything else is concerned, as far as weapons, the neighborhood Jimothy asks, what weapons can the Colossus not use? And Mark Dara replies, pistols, I think. So there you have it. Depending on what type of javelin you use, you will have different types of weapons that you can and can't use, but pistols are confirmed. Next up, Jordan asks, will we be able to swap out weapons differently in combat? And Mark Dara replies, yes. We have to switch out loadouts, but we will have a certain area to do that in, such as Fort Tarsus or the little ship that we fly in before we drop into our mission. And next up, the Ministry asks the last great question. As far as you answering these two things, can we change out those loadouts? And like I said before, yes, you can change your loadouts, weapon and gear for Tarsus or in your Strider. And that's pretty much going to end it for this video. Those are all the questions that was asked over the last 2 weeks, to Mark Dara and Jonathan Warner. Picked out all the pretty much the good ones, and I'll give you an update on everything that's coming in the world of Anthem. And that's all I'm going to end it for this video. Thank you for all your love and support. Now get out there and have some fun with anything and everything that is video games, and I will see y'all soon.